I'd like to introduce you to Klaus. He's a special needs educator born in Canada, but his parents migrated there in the 1950s. Both of them left Germany on a ship to Canada, and now Klaus wants to recreate their trip all the way back to Germany. Now he doesn't want to travel on a cruise ship, but thinks that a cargo ship is exactly what he needs. Welcome aboard with CptnZeppos. Today, Klaus will explain why he wants to follow his parents' footsteps and travel on a cargo ship from Canada to Germany with CptnZeppos.
I can be in Europe in 5 hours, but to make a commitment to have to sit on a ship for a number of days was a very big commitment. And I think it would be amazing to experience that. You know, my mother, she came from Hamburg, and my father came out of the port of Bremenhaven. And I just thought, well, that would be a really, really cool experience to kind of recreate that little travel, you know? I think it would really come to light what that meant for my family members, what they gave up, right? Because they just didn't take a plane. I mean, now I can go. I've been to Europe a number of times. I can be in Europe in 5 hours, but I think it would just be an amazing, life-changing experience. You know, Clara, what's really cool is that I found these letters that my father wrote while he was on the ship. So he was on the ship that he was traveling across was on the Columbia. He would talk about the ship, and he would talk about his travels and how much he missed her. My dearest Ilse, I want to write you a few lines. I arrived in Halifax today at noon. However, we were 1.5 days late. We were, my friends that I met on board already once in the city. It is, in proportion, much cheaper here than it is for you at home. There is everything here that your heart could desire, except only one thing is missing for me, and that is you, but not for long. If I may advise you to find as soon as possible a way to learn English, because this will be a great advantage for you. Of course, you don't have to be afraid if you can't, that you don't come over, as it doesn't have to be, as most of the ship staff, they know German, and I didn't know English as well. Currently, I'm still on the ship, but tomorrow I will leave it for good. It is now 12 days later, and I have seen and experienced all kinds of things since the 1st of January. We left Bremen on December the 31st, and we sailed continuously on the high seas. Nothing but water and more water over and over again. It was truly beautiful.
Oh, wow, thank you so much for sharing this with us, Klaus. It's so beautiful. Do you actually know why they travel by a ship? Is it because of the expense?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think it's probably would have been the expense.
Mm-hmm.
I think back then flying would have been a luxury.
Yeah.
And I think to me a cargo ship would probably express more their experience than being on a luxury ship. Being on a cruise ship is not my experience of a holiday anyways. It's not something I would enjoy. But I think being on a cargo ship would really be more the experience of what their experience was.
And here is what motivated Klaus to travel by a cargo ship.
I think it's the idea of there's a bit of uncertainty, which I really like that idea that there's things can be uncertain. It can go, and the uncertainty could be when you're leaving and how long you can be. I think having that space and that solitude would be an amazing experience. Having that close connection to the ocean, having that solitude, being away from being connected by the internet or even just being connected by people. I've seen videos of sunsets and sunrises from the ship, seas that are calm and seas that are rough. So it's a bit of that unpredictability. It's kind of like an expression of life, isn't it? I mean, I think life is almost like being, you know, being vulnerable, because I think there's that vulnerability, but also having trust. that, you know, it's going to work out the way it's supposed to it's supposed to work out. I think that that's what really would appeal to me about being on a cargo ship. And I think also being very close to the sea, I think is being connected to that. It's just a desire to recreate an adventure of my family, and in some ways just kind of take the backs, you know, sort of take the back steps or take a back route of how they came. And there's also a part of me that really feels that currently where I live is the unceded territory of the Mi'kma'ki. So where I live today really belonged to another group of people before people settled here. This is kind of my small little enterprise of saying, you know, by me leaving this space, that just gives a little piece back, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that it came to fruition in my mind because I had to think about, you know, my mother's own experience where, you know, where she lived once belonged to Poland, and then it belonged to Germany, and then it belonged to Poland. And sort of that's just sort of the way things sort of happen historically. And I don't know how you can ever make it right, you know, and I'm not here to try to make everything right, but I think this is kind of my little piece, is probably a big motivation for me to go to Europe. We're all just really global citizens, right? And you know what connects us is water, is the sea, is really what connects us all.
Yeah, that's well said. I like that. Yeah, that's true.
The reason why, you know, cargo ship travel would be really ideal for me is because then I would reach out to yours and say, I'm ready to go at any time, but it doesn't have to be today, you know, because I have that, you know, I have that flexibility.
Thank you so much, Klaus, for sharing your story. Now, do you want to travel aboard a cargo ship, or do you want to share your own story? Why do you want to travel on a cargo ship? Let us know in the comments below. Also, you can find all the links to our website, to our newsletter subscription, to all the possible destinations, and so on in the description below this video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we wish you a wonderful day.